So right now I'm leaving the paintball park, played a half day of paintball. Sorry I didn't shoot any footage of it or really kind of intro that this morning. Got out here around like 8 o'clock. Anyway, to give you some backstory, I just tried out for a team in San Diego. We played at Velocity Paintball, which is my home field, the field that I had my first job in. Got to see some old faces and also meet a lot of new ones. They tried out about 6 guys, I think, and I think I did okay. The last time I played tournament paintball was maybe 2-3 years ago, and even that was just kind of like a one-off. We just played like a throw-together team, no practices or anything, but the last time I played tournament-style paintball was maybe a year ago also. So paintball starts at Division 5, which is the lowest rank, and at this point I haven't been ranked in like 8 years maybe, so jumping to Division 3 is going to be quite the challenge. But I think I played well today. I got off to kind of a rocky start. I'm used to playing like a certain position, but then I've been noticing my style has been changing, so I kind of shifted my position later on in the day and I started playing a lot better. I thought about vlogging, but it just didn't quite feel right. I think a lot of it was kind of jitters from the tryouts and making sure I do well, so I didn't want to record because it just felt like a distraction at that time. Anyway, the purpose of this vlog, I don't want it to be about paintball per se, about like showing how I did or what I did. I think what I really want to talk about is how paintball played a role in my life. The first time I played was like when I was 13, and my brothers took me out. Ever since there I was hooked. My first experience with paintball was, I think I was around 9 or 10 years old. My oldest brother got to go play with my uncle and my uncle's friends, and then he got hooked on the game. He bought a paintball gun, and then my next oldest brother started playing. The minimum age for paintball at that time was 10 years old, so I wasn't quite there, and they started playing at like this park. Actually, it wasn't even a park, it was just like some woodsy areas that had yet to be like bulldozed over. So they would go out there and they would play, and there was like a sewage runoff river, and I would go there and I would run down there. I didn't have a mask, so I had to just kind of sit in this safe house that they built, because they were afraid of me getting hurt. So that was my first experience. I never played back then because they wouldn't let me. But then again, my brother got back into it like 3 years later. I was 13. I started playing again and just fell in love with it. And this led to my first job at around 13, 14. I got my first job as a ref, still in middle school at the time. So looking back, that's pretty bizarre. Also looking back, I realized I learned so much from paintball and from that job that really helps me now as an adult, if you can call it adulthood. But yeah, the owners of Velocity are super nice, and they hire really like anybody that's willing to work. And that was my first time having a boss and having those responsibilities that, you know, affect how a business is run. And the owners, they're definitely, you know, no BS people. You know, they want what they want, and they expect a high level of, you know, customer service and things like that. So I learned very early on, like as a 13, 14-year-old kid, like how to talk to kids, how to talk to adults. People of all ages, starting from just 10 years old, can play paintball all the way up to 50s and 60s and maybe even beyond. It was really like, yeah, my first time really interacting with adults in that way, and I look back and I think I'm really thankful for that experience, because, you know, that really translated into my, I guess, adulthood as well, and kind of learning how to handle certain situations, because paintball is also a very aggressive sport and a lot of adrenaline plays into that. And, you know, a lot of times you deal with hotheads, maybe you deal with people that like to cheat, that like to play dirty. As a young teenager, learning how to manage that as a referee and as a player too was definitely a very good experience, I think. But yeah, you might be thinking like, oh, how can I afford to play paintball? Like, it's such an expensive sport. But you know, at that time I was really grinding. I was going out, I was working a weekend, and then the next weekend I would be playing, practicing with my team, and then the next weekend working, the next weekend practicing with my team. So I paid my way through paintball. I tried not to ask my parents for help or anything like that. And it was also one of those first times to where I was kind of making my own decisions. And I'm also really thankful that my parents supported enough to like at least drop me off at the field and pick me up. They weren't the most supportive of it because it is expensive, and, you know, all my money just went back into paintball. And it's tough work. Being a referee is tough work at a paintball park, because you're essentially there, you're trapped on a field with 20 other players and you don't have a gun. You don't have your own paintball marker to shoot back, you know? So like, you just gotta take hits when they happen. And I also learned a lot about safety through playing paintball and reffing paintball, because, you know, there's a lot of obstacles, there's a lot of dangers, just standard sports injuries too that you can have. But, you know, knowing when there's an unsafe situation and knowing how to react quickly, you know, looking out for kids, looking out for adults too. And yeah, I really looked up to the owners, really kind of pushing for that safety, and I'm glad that kind of got passed to me. Also, you know, running a team, that was an interesting experience too. As a young teenager, being the captain of a group of like 8 other fellow teenagers, and, you know, trying to get everybody together and have this team. And I learned a lot through that as well. And I looked up to the owners of the company, and I looked to them, and I learned a lot about like branding and management now that I look back. And, you know, we had sponsored deals. We took it pretty seriously. You know, we weren't the best team. We had a rough time because we were all in the same boat, working and paying for ourselves, and it was tough. And then it's tough to play against, you know, like kids that have their full parental financial support that can just go out, buy the best gun, buy as much paint as they want, you know. So it was tough going up against those kids, but you know, we learned a lot about money management and time management as well. And, you know, like reaching out to companies as a 15-year-old was definitely a daunting task, but, you know, it worked out. We had a couple sponsors. You know, we were sponsored by the field. A lot of people, their first job is like working at a restaurant or as a waiter. And, you know, I do have some regrets of not having that experience that a lot of people go through. But I think I do have a unique experience as a paintball referee, that it was really like being a waiter, but people could shoot you, you know. So it was definitely hard work. I definitely like hard labor as well. Setting up an airball field on your hands and knees, hammering stakes down, cleaning up paintballs, chopping down trees, you know, removing obstacles, just maintaining the field. It was definitely hard work, but I feel like I keep saying the same things. But, you know, I'm just really thankful that my parents supported me enough to let me try this, that my brothers introduced me to the sport, and the owners like gave me a chance as a referee and as a team captain. And, you know, yeah, and I love coming back. So this will be kind of a tough decision to make, because I want to play a full season, or at least a partial season next year, because it's been such a long time. And then back as a kid, we couldn't really play to our full potential because there were so many limiting factors with school, money, not having a driver's license. So now I can finally play to, I guess, my full potential. And so I tried out for this team here. They practice at my home field, which is in San Diego. But next week, there's another team in LA that's also having tryouts. But this team is having their second week of tryouts. So if I get invited back, I will have to make the decision whether to stay in LA, try out for the other team, or continue trying out for this current team. So it's a lot of driving, a big decision. But in the end, I just want to play. I just want to play. I feel like I've been working a lot this past 2 years, and I haven't really given myself enough time to kind of do the things that I enjoy. So this is part of that. And also jiu-jitsu. So that's another kind of tough decision to make too, because I just started training again in jiu-jitsu, and I've been, you know, slowly getting back into it. I think I'm pretty much there. I think I've caught back up to where I was before. But yeah, jiu-jitsu is not cheap either. So right now I'm hoping that can be like my weekly thing that keeps me in shape, and then paintball can be my weekend thing. But we'll see how it goes, because I do enjoy both, and the problem is they're both so expensive to do. So hopefully I can get on a team and, you know, be sponsored and not play as expensive as being unsponsored, I guess. So I'm editing this vlog, and I realized there's one huge thing I forgot to mention in regards to paintball in my life. It's that I really owe my career to paintball, because the first camera that I bought for myself, was used for making paintball videos, and I just filmed my team, my friends playing paintball, and then from there that camera was used for my wrestling matches and my wrestling teammates, and then it just kept building from there. I taught myself how to edit by editing paintball videos, and now I'm making videos for a living. So yeah, just a quick blurb. Now back to the car. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. There's gonna be a lot of ums that I'm gonna have to cut out. There's gonna be a lot of but yeahs and so's. So there's another one. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to know more about my paintball background or maybe my work background. Or let me know if you play too. If you play paintball, if you do jiu-jitsu, let me know and then maybe we can play together sometime. Anyway, Benson out. I need to take a shower, I need to get changed, I need to eat some lunch. I am starving.